Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's going to be a slightly different video, a bit more of an interesting one, as you can probably tell already by the thumbnail and title of the video. As you may have seen in a previous video, which I will link up in the cards, I run in these. These are Vivobarefoot running shoes, and supposedly the sole is like basically nothing. It certainly feels like nothing when you run, and if you feel it sort of just now, it doesn't feel like a lot, and you know, they're meant to be really sort of minimalist and don't use a lot of material at all, so it's almost like, hence by the name, you're running barefoot. I'm not actually going to run through why I use these shoes. I did kind of do that in that video that I've just linked, or if you have any questions about why I run in them, then you can link them down below or drop them in the comments and I will be sure to answer them. Yeah, so I have quite a few pairs of these running shoes. This is being my oldest pair, which, as you can kind of tell, they're pretty battered and worn out, and the inner soles, there's like nothing left on the inner sole. You know, they're pretty ruined. So I thought it would be quite an interesting video if I basically took these apart as much as I possibly can, cut into them a little bit, and see actually how sort of kind of bare they are, and see how little sort of material, especially on the sole mainly is what I'm interested in, how little is actually used. So I've got some tools with me. Right, so as I mentioned, I think because I've got two shoes, I might try and do one down the centre and then do one across and see. I'm going to start with this one. Take apart the laces. Now the sleeves, obviously we've got the tongue, the shoe itself. This is the right foot. That is the state of the inner sole. If you can see that, absolutely awful. Obviously inner sole is fairly standard, that's like an inner sole, although these are quite nice ones. Opens. Not all too thick, that, if you can see. No idea. But you can get an idea of what the inner sole is like. There's some like foil in it. I'm not all too sure what that foil is for. So it looks like there's this sort of material here, which is like some sort of fabric. It's a little bit stretchy, and then it goes into like a layer of foam, and then it's got this sort of foil material here. So it's like your fabric, the foam, foil material, and then it feels like there's just a foam underneath it, so it's just a layer of foam. This is what's left of, so that's what's inside the shoe. You probably can't really see that. But yeah, you can kind of see there. Doesn't feel like there's all too much inside there. I suppose cut inside it. I hope these scissors, yeah, they're not going to work. Hacksaw time it is. There we are. That's quite weird. So far, it looks like that the rubber is really thin on the bottom. I mean, it's like maybe 2 or 3 mil. Obviously, I think these are going to be slightly worn because I wore these for a fair few amount of miles, but it's still very thin. And in terms of like cushioning, there really isn't a lot. There's the same sort of fabric as I showed you on this. So there's like this sort of fabric. There's a sheet of that, what it looks like, and then some sort of like cottony cardboard type material, and then some more rubber. It's almost like very similar to the actual inner sole, but just another layer of that again. So look, I'll see if I can show you here. So this is the toe cap. So this is the toe cap. There's that sort of mesh material, as I said, which is literally just feels like a little bit of mesh with then this behind it. The lighting's shocking. So there's really not a lot actually. What I'm going to do now is, now that's kind of the sole and the top butt here done, as you can tell they're both really thin. I'm going to go, the only bit of padding that I get from these is around this sort of heel support just here. So that has like a little bit of cushioning in here, and then it goes pretty much down to nothing again as you get towards this section of the heel. There's like nothing. So what I'm going to do is actually cut down maybe one here or here, and we'll see what sort of how much cushioning we get in sort of the heel area. Completely opened. Yeah, so that actually gives you quite a good indication, if it will focus, as to kind of the layers. So like I said, there's that fabric bit of cardboard, and then the rubber, and that's literally the sole. In terms of this sort of padded cushion bit at the heel, which I said, it looks as though that sort of same material that kind of runs through the sole of the shoe comes up right to the heel, comes up to the heel, and then as it gets, literally follows it right around until you get maybe an inch just here, right to the back of the heel, like at the top. That's where you get some sort of foam. The only bit of cushion across the whole shoe. Yeah, quite interesting actually. I did kind of expect there to be maybe a tiniest little bit of support or padding, but going through it, there's literally nothing. It's just rubber and then this sort of fabric-y type material, that's almost like a canvas type material, and that is it across the whole shoe. It's pretty disgusting in there. I've had these for years. Probably done like 2,000 miles in them, and they are really falling apart. Well, I mean, they're trash now, and there's no way I'm getting these back. But yeah, there you are. I hope you enjoyed that sort of video. I will not be doing another one of these because I don't have a spare pair of running shoes that I'm going to hack into anymore. These are the ones that I'm currently running in. Some newer ones, all black ones, exact same like shoe and same principle. And there's no sort of difference. But yeah, that was quite interesting, and like I say, I hope you enjoyed it and found it a little bit interesting. It kind of gives you a further in depth as to how these shoes are made. Obviously, I'm no like shoe technician or expert, so I you know, there's probably actual words for like the construction and stuff of these shoes. I was just more interested in seeing actually what is inside the shoe, what's inside the inner sole, and how is it made up. But yeah, I'm going to end the video here and clear up this horrendous mess that I've made of literal crap. It's like random bits of shoe and dirt and stuff everywhere, so I need to get this cleaned up. But I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure you subscribe if you are new to the channel, I'm basically kind of just documenting my journey to Ironman, if you didn't know. So if you want to join me along for that, make sure you do. And you can kind of check out some of my other videos, which are usually more to do with actual training than stuff like this. But yeah, I hope you found this useful. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe, comment any questions you have below, whether it be about running shoes, triathlon, anything you want, and I'll answer. And I will see you in the next video for not doing this again, because it's too expensive. Peace.